Starting solids is one of the most exciting phases of your baby's first year. New flavors, new textures, new experiences at every meal. But alongside that excitement comes a question almost every parent has at some point. What should I avoid? What looks harmless but can actually cause harm? During complementary feeding, which is recommended to continue until 2 years of age, the goal is for the baby to experience the widest possible variety of foods. However, some foods should not be offered during this phase because they can increase the risk of developing diseases, including in adult life. In this video, you will learn which 13 foods should not be offered to your baby during the introduction of solids, and exactly why each one of them represents a real risk. If you want more content like this about baby nutrition, subscribe to the channel. We publish every week. Now let's get into it. Number 1. Cow's milk as a main drink. This is one of the most common points of confusion during the first year, so it is important to make a distinction before explaining the risk. Plain whole milk yogurt and cheese can be introduced during complementary feeding. The problem here is specific. Cow's milk as a main drink, as a replacement for breast milk or infant formula. Cow's milk has a very different composition from breast milk. The protein concentration is much higher, and the baby's kidneys are still maturing and are not prepared to process that load. Cow's milk also has elevated concentrations of sodium and potassium that place additional strain on the baby's developing renal system. The iron problem is equally serious. Cow's milk does not contain enough iron for the baby's needs. Beyond that, it interferes with the absorption of iron from other foods and can cause microlesions in the intestinal lining. These small bleeds, over time, lead to iron deficiency anemia. Consuming cow's milk before 12 months increases the risk of developing anemia and high blood pressure in adult life. The recommendation is breast milk or infant formula as the main drink until 1 year. Cow's milk as a drink is only appropriate from 1 year onward. Number 2. Honey. Honey is a natural food, but it is not safe for babies under 1 year of age. The reason is microbiological. Honey can contain spores of a bacterium called Clostridium botulinum. In adults, these spores pass through the digestive tract without causing harm. In a baby, the intestine is still maturing and does not have the established gut flora or the gastric acidity needed to neutralize them. The spores multiply inside the baby's intestine and produce botulinum toxin, which reaches the nervous system and causes infant botulism. It is a serious condition that can lead to death through paralysis of the respiratory muscles. Beyond the immediate risk, it is recommended to avoid honey until 2 years of age, as it can interfere with the development of the intestinal microbiome and the formation of the baby's taste preferences. The recommendation is no honey before 1 year, in any amount, not diluted, not mixed into food, not in industrialized products. This includes raw honey, organic honey, processed honey, and any product that lists honey as an ingredient. Always check the label before giving any packaged food to your baby. Number 3. Fruit juice, including natural juice. Juice consumption should be avoided until 12 months of age, as it can increase the risk of developing diabetes and obesity in adult life. When you process fruit to make juice, you remove the fiber and concentrate the sugar. Without fiber, the sugar is absorbed rapidly, causing blood sugar spikes that put stress on the pancreas. Beyond the metabolic impact, juice takes up space in the baby's small stomach without providing the nutrition that solid food would. The baby feels full from the juice and loses appetite for more nutritious foods. Fruit should be offered whole, mashed, in soft pieces, or as a puree with no added sugar. After 12 months, families can offer up to 120 milliliters of natural juice per day with no added sugar. Number 4. Salt. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, consuming salt before 12 months of age increases the risk of developing high blood pressure in adult life. The baby's kidneys are still maturing and cannot process the excess sodium that comes from added salt. When a baby consumes salt, the kidneys have to work beyond their capacity to eliminate that excess. Over time, this overload can compromise renal development. The recommendation is no added salt before 1 year. This includes table salt, sea salt, pink salt, fleur de sel, and any other type of salt. It also includes store-bought broths, instant soups, seasoning powders, soy sauce, and processed foods in general. Foods already contain sodium naturally in amounts sufficient for the baby. If the family is eating together, separate the baby's portion before adding any seasoning. Number 5. Sugar. Sugar consumption is not recommended before 2 years of age. This is a recommendation from the World Health Organization and the American Academy of Pediatrics. The impact of sugar goes far beyond tooth decay. Sugar can interfere with the formation of taste preferences and the intestinal microbiome, compromise immunity, and increase the risk of obesity. Babies are born with a natural preference for sweet flavors. When you introduce added sugar, you artificially intensify that preference. The baby begins to reject foods with less intense flavors, the bitter, sour, and neutral ones, which are precisely the most nutritious: vegetables, greens, and whole grains. The recommendation is no added sugar before 2 years. This includes white sugar, brown sugar, coconut sugar, molasses, agave, maple syrup, and any natural or artificial sweetener. It also includes flavored yogurts, packaged juices, cookies, jellies, and chocolate drinks. Fruit already contains natural fructose in appropriate amounts. Nothing more needs to be added. Number 6. Thickeners. Thickeners are industrialized products used to thicken formula bottles or purees, usually marketed with the promise of helping the baby feel fuller or sleep longer. The use of thickeners in baby feeding is strongly discouraged. Their composition includes sugar and various types of starch that tend to disrupt the baby's hunger and satiety mechanism. This contributes to an increased risk of childhood obesity, and in some cases can even lead to growth delay. The baby's hunger and satiety mechanism is one of the most important systems to preserve during complementary feeding. When it functions properly, the baby eats the right amount for their development. When it is disrupted by thickeners, the baby loses the ability to regulate their own appetite. No thickener should be offered to a baby at any stage of complementary feeding. Number 7. Corn cookies and teething biscuits with additives. Teething biscuits and corn-based baby cookies are often perceived as light and harmless snacks for babies, but they typically contain 2 problems that make them inappropriate during complementary feeding. The first is added sugar. Most conventional baby biscuits contain added sugar, which is already enough to make the product inappropriate before 2 years of age. The second problem is the presence of preservatives such as sodium metabisulfite. Consuming this preservative has been associated with an increased risk of developing respiratory problems that can be mistaken for bronchitis. It is a risk that parents rarely look for on a label, which is why it often goes unnoticed. Before offering any biscuit or cracker to your baby, read the label carefully. If there is added sugar or sodium metabisulfite in the ingredient list, the product is not appropriate. Number 8. Cassava crackers and puffed snacks. Puffed and cassava-based crackers are widely seen as a light and safe option for babies, but they also present specific risks that make them inappropriate before 12 months. These products typically contain salt and, in most industrialized versions, hydrogenated fat, also known as trans fat. This type of fat contributes to an increase in LDL, the bad cholesterol, and a decrease in HDL, the good cholesterol. This negatively affects cardiovascular health from a very early age. After 12 months, some versions of these crackers can be part of the baby's snacks, provided the chosen version contains no hydrogenated fat and no chemical additives, such as preservatives, flavorings, or colorings. Before 12 months, the recommendation is not to offer them. Number 9. Chocolate milk drinks. Chocolate milk drinks and powdered chocolate mixes are strongly discouraged for babies. Beyond being a food with very low nutritional value, they can significantly harm the baby's health. These products contain between 60 and 90% sugar in their composition, along with various additives and preservatives, which classifies them as ultra-processed foods. This means they have undergone multiple industrial transformation processes and contain ingredients that have no place in a natural diet. Consuming chocolate milk drinks can alter the baby's taste preferences, compromise the intestinal microbiome, and increase the risk of cavities and childhood obesity. No brand or version of these products is appropriate for babies during complementary feeding, regardless of the nutritional claims on the packaging. Number 10. Coffee and dark teas. Coffee, black tea, green tea, mate tea, and dark teas in general contain caffeine and provide no nutritional value for babies. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant. The baby's nervous system is in full development and is extremely sensitive to this substance. Caffeine consumption by babies can cause low weight gain, dilation of blood vessels, increased blood pressure, sleep disturbances, irritability, restlessness, and difficulty absorbing calcium and iron. No product containing caffeine should be offered to a baby during complementary feeding. This includes coffee in any concentration, black tea, green tea, mate tea, and any beverage or food that contains caffeine in its composition. Number 11. Industrialized seasonings, chips, and canned foods. These products share 2 key problems: excess sodium and the presence of chemical additives such as colorings, preservatives, and flavor enhancers. Consuming these components can cause renal overload, increased blood pressure, changes in the intestinal microbiome, disruption of taste preferences, and impaired calcium absorption in the bones. Bouillon cubes, ready-made seasoning sachets, industrialized broths, packaged chips, and seasoned canned foods should not be offered to babies at any stage of complementary feeding. The rule for seasoning baby food is straightforward. Natural herbs such as garlic, onion, parsley, cilantro, and bay leaf are safe and can be used. Any industrialized seasoning, no. Number 12. Industrialized gelatin. Industrialized gelatin appears to be a light and appropriate option for babies, but its composition includes high amounts of sugar, artificial colorings, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners. For this reason, it should not be offered to babies during complementary feeding. The colorings and artificial sweeteners present in gelatin have not been tested for safety in babies and have no place in the diet of children under 2 years of age. Beyond that, the high sugar content disrupts the formation of taste preferences and contributes to the same risks already mentioned: obesity, cavities, and disruption of the intestinal microbiome. If the family wants to offer a cold dessert to the baby, the safe alternative is mashed fruit or frozen fruit in pieces appropriate for the baby's stage. Simple, natural, and without risk. Number 13. Sodas and artificial fruit drinks. Sodas and artificial fruit drinks contain excess sugar, colorings, and various chemical additives. Sodas have an additional risk factor: phosphoric acid. Consuming phosphoric acid promotes bone demineralization, which directly harms the composition of the baby's bones and teeth, which are in full development. Beyond that, consuming these products weakens immunity, promotes the development of obesity, and increases the risk of cavities. No soda and no artificial fruit drink should be offered to a baby during complementary feeding. This includes diet, light, and zero versions, which replace sugar with artificial sweeteners that are equally inappropriate for babies. 13 foods present in the daily life of almost every family, each one restricted for a specific reason related to how the baby's body is still being built. What is safe for an adult is not always appropriate for a system that is still developing. Knowing what to avoid is just as important as knowing what to offer. The description of this video has a free guide with a complete first-year feeding plan, what is safe, what to avoid, and when to introduce each food. Just click and download. In the next video, we cover everything you need to know to start complementary feeding the right way. See you then.